You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard alongside the coach, Tim LaComb. How you doing, sir?
I'm well. Play a little posty because he's coming to town this week.
Yes. And Jelly Roll, who is apparently making headlines with a little bit of a divorce he's going through.
This was so good last year. I went. So if you're thinking about it, I told you to steer clear of David Lee Roth, and
yes,
he has since canceled his tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Salt Lake might have been the last hurrah. He's playing Sturgis, but they've shut everything down.
Salt Lake broke him, huh?
Yeah, well, his tour broke him. But
or he
go
broke
see
the tour.
Posty. Go see Posty and Jelly, like up there especially, outside with all the pyro and everything. Very, very good show.
And Jelly Roll, no joke here either.
He's awesome. Yeah. Sets the table.
I don't know about the third person, but those two, definitely worth the price of admission right there. Absolutely. All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard, the coach, Tim LaComb, on a Monday, post LeBron James finally announcing where he's going to play. So we can all take a bated breath knowing that he will be back in the NBA next year. And he'll be in the East, where he definitely wants to be. So there's no big surprise there that's a guy that is trying to chase a championship, which is fine. But when you look at the landscape of the West, that really doesn't change things much. I mean, LeBron with or without the Lakers are probably going to be about the same team. But, honestly, I do think the NBA's got a bunch of storylines. And we mentioned this in the finals last year. If you have checked out of the NBA because of the personalities or the storylines or even the, the civil rights stuff that, whatever. I'm not making any judgment. If you checked out because you don't like the style of basketball, if you checked out because you think it's a me-first league or it's about ISO ball and nobody plays defense, you may want to take a look back at the league because – the league has gotten really good, really interesting, a lot of great storylines with a ton of parity. I think the NBA's got a bit of a resurgence going on. And hopefully people start noticing.
Absolutely. And for those of you wondering, because we waited for so long and it seemed as though the NBA office was kind of pushing LeBron, it's kind of leaked that their amount of games that you can play on national television, the max is 34. And that's what Philly will get this year.
Shocker.
And that's why they were waiting. And that's, but again, it's a business at the end of the day. And they're going to, if this is his swan song, which you don't know, he's thrown out that's a possibility. Certainly, this is one that it's very, very intriguing. It's much more intriguing than the hazardous mess that was the Lakers the last 8 years.
Yeah. And it's a mess. But the Lakers are going to be good again. I
like what they've done. For sure.
Like they've improved.
They can move on now too.
There's probably a big sigh of relief, just being like, we're good now.
Yeah, with Luka there, certainly you've got two alphas, and you want to. I mean, Luka's the future, so makes total sense. But LeBron had to, it had to come to him wanting to go look, and I do think it's better for the Lakers. I think it's better, obviously, for Philly, and I think it's better for the league. Like you say, there's new faces and new places, and that is always intriguing regardless. I think that's one thing sports, as much as love tradition, we like to see a little curveball, and this is a curveball.
Hey, you ready to play a little golf this week?
I am ready to play golf. I just saw that on the schedule.
Yeah, Thursday. I believe it's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
We'll be down at BYU Football. Now, to BYU's credit, when they were independent, they did this thing that I thought was really impressive because you would always knew that there was going to be a media day with your conference. For so many years, we'd go down to the Green Valley Resort there in Henderson, and it was where they hosted the Mountain West Media Day for years and years and years and years. Well, Utah goes to the Pac-12. BYU decides to go independent and realizing, oh, wait a minute, we're not part of any conference. We're not part of any media day. So BYU, and they always did it really early, too, because they wanted to get out ahead of all the other conferences. They held their own media day. And it was usually around June. It was always like a day before the NBA draft. For some reason, it always lined up that way. And So BYU would get the whole day to themselves. Every radio station, TV station would go down, and they'd bring out all the coaches, all the players, and they did a tremendous job. Like when BYU puts their marketing muscle behind something, watch out.
For sure.
They're going to do it right.
That's right.
So now they're in the Big 12, and there's still a little bit of a tradition to get together. So now they do a golf tournament. And we will be there on Thursday, broadcasting live with a chance to chat with a lot of coaches, a lot of players, talk a lot of golf. And this is the one time where everybody's in a really good mood because, again, much like media days, everybody's undefeated. Nobody's injured, no torn ACLs or no Achilles injuries or anything like that. Everybody's in a pretty good place. And so, honestly, it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, we get to play a little golf, too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's happy there because you're on a dadgum golf course.
Yeah.
Those guys have been sweating in the trenches, It's hot out there. So this will be awesome. I'm excited to go. Don't know about the golf, but I'll do my best.
Oh, stop it. You're going to be just fine. Of all the things, like you downplay a lot, I guarantee you're a ringer on the course.
I'm not a ringer. I promise you I'm not a ringer. I'm far from a ringer. Any of the people I've had to struggle through scrambles with me will attest.
Have you
I can hit a good shot every now and then.
Have you golfed with PK?
I have once. He beat me.
Oh, yeah.
He came down, played in Provo when I was still coaching. And we played, I think he had me rounded up about 14th hole.
Yeah,
we were playing skin. It was not my day.
Well, and the thing is with PK,
he's a putter. I'll tell you that.
He's a putter, and he's just like, he's not going to outdrive you, but he's just going to put it in the fairway and just hit dedicated shots. Like he doesn't get loose. Everything's right down the middle. Everything's straight. Everything's where it needs to be. Like he's a tactician on the golf course.
I mean, I could lace one down the fairway. Probably my yardage is like 240. Okay. That's if I really bang one.
Yeah.
But it also has the same amount of chance of hitting like a tee marker, just off the hosel and killing someone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So my game is, if you say the PK's is not loose, mine's very loose.
You know who can hit it a mile? Jake Hatch.
Can he really?
Oh, Jake gets a hold of one. Watch out. That dude can really, really crank it.
Speaking of BYU football and golf, dude I've played with that I've seen hit further than anyone else is Taysom Hill.
Oh, I bet. I could see that.
Like, it's not just the slash that he can play running back, quarterback, tight end. He can also golf. Add that slash, dog.
That's the one thing that always bothers me about high-level athletes is that it transfers over more often than not.
Plus,
to
he's
other
brilliant.
Sports.
He was a great student. Yeah, he's got it all.
Yeah. It's like, can you be bad at something, please? Just be bad at something. Like, I don't care what it is. Just be bad. That's always bothered me about hands and radio. It's like, look, you're good at everything. You don't need to be good at radio, too. Why are you better at me at radio than you are? Like, come on. Give me something. I'm kidding. But, I mean, that's the great thing about being around these guys. And we'll see these guys on the golf course. We'll have some fun. But ultimately, the spotlight, the reason I bring up BYU football is obviously we'll be there on Thursday, but the spotlight continues to really shine on this team and what their expectations are. Now, it almost feels like it's a college football playoff or bust year for BYU. And that may not be fair, but it's reality. And like, I hate to start a season by saying you have to make it to the college football playoff. You don't necessarily need to win a Big 12 title, but you need to be in the championship game again. And your resume needs to be so much that if you lose that championship game, you still get into the college football playoff. That's a really big ask for a football team. But with BYU, it doesn't seem like it's an unreasonable request.
No, I think there are a lot of things that point to this being one of the better years for it.
Yeah.
And part of that is the fact last year they actually got to play. Now, albeit the game was not great and, Texas Tech just suffocated them, but they got to the championship game. And so they've taken a step. I remember watching the NFL back in the 70s and the historic coach of the Houston Oilers named Bum Phillips.
Bum Phillips, Wade Phillips' dad.
Yeah, and Bum wore a cowboy hat, was all Texas, all football coach. But as Houston was kind of making their climb, and they never were able to get all the way there. But I remember one thing he said was, somebody's like, how are you going to do it? He's like, well, we're going to get to the door first, and then we're going to knock. And if nobody answers, we're going to kick the damn door in. And I feel like that's what BYU, the mentality they have to have. it's okay for everybody to think that they have to get to the college football playoff, because I think that's a compliment. Like the program's matured to that point. But the players can't look at it any different. I mean, they can't go into Utah Tech thinking we've got to win the college football playoff. For them, it is, how do we start this path? How do we start to find efficiencies on the offensive side, the defensive side? You know, some of the receiving question marks that we've got.
Yeah.
And I saw you posted a video over the weekend of Casper dunking the basketball, and I know he's going to be a part of it. Like, they've got talent, but it just needs to present itself. And so those first few games, like, that's the furthest thing, has to be the furthest thing from anybody's mind in that deal, because it is about, at that point, managing every single play that you can and trying to make both offense and defense as efficient as possible. And that's going to be the game. And if they can do it, if they can refine it, and I loved the chemistry that existed. We talked to Kalani. Kalani looks more business-like than I've ever seen him. And Kalani's fun, right? Kalani sits down, and he'll always smile, and he'll always crack a joke, and he'll always rip on his weight. You know, he'll always do that stuff. But in my mind, he had a look in his eyes that I hadn't seen. And so then the guys came, you know, certainly L.J. Martin coming back is massive for this team, but just watching his steely resolve. But then watching the guys kind of kick around, and, you know, to me, Mitchell came, the center.
Yes.
And the poise and confidence and know-how and excitement that he carried. I just feel like, to your point, it is set up for them this year. And the Sorsby news, that certainly helps. But they just have to manage game by game, practice by practice, and they can't get out ahead of themselves, because hype and expectation have killed so many dreams.
Yes. Yep. And look, there was and it's happened to BYU, the Bronco Mendenhall, the
quest for perfection.
Like, there's been moments where it's been set up beforehand and it's fallen apart, but this team, and I want to be very careful, because I know there's probably a lot of Utah fans are going to lose their mind at this. I remember it was my first full season covering sports here in Salt Lake City, was before the 2004 Utah team. And that whole summer, we knew something special was about to happen. We didn't know it was going to be that special, but we knew something special was going to happen, because Urban had gone 10-2 the year before. They smashed a team in the bowl game there in Memphis. I think it was Liberty Bowl.
Setting the stage, right?
Yeah,
Prep.
And everything was set up. Like, Alex Smith's back. This whole team is loaded. Morgan Scalley back. Like, this whole team was just brimming with talent. And so we knew this team was going to be really good. And leading up to that opener, I think it was against Texas A&M, I want to say, and everybody was just fired up, because they knew we had a chance to see something special. And what'd they do? Ran the table, went undefeated, broke down the BCS. It was special. I get that same vibe. Now, I'm not saying that's what I expect to happen, but I get that same kind of energy from this BYU team. Like, okay, we've got a great roster. We got great talent. I talked to somebody on the defensive coaching staff about a month or so ago. He goes, I don't think we're dropping off. He goes, I know we're losing some key players, but the guys we got coming in, especially the kid from Cal, the linebacker, anticipate he will be
a killer,
every bit have every bit the ability to take over for Jack Kelly. Like, no worries at all. The wide receiver thing is the only concern, but if you got good running play, you got good offensive line, you got a good quarterback, the receivers usually end up taking care of themselves. So honestly, I don't see why, and I don't see why we can't have those kind of expectations. Now, look, a lot of people out there, when you talk to Stu and goes, go get those guys, it's because a lot of times us in the media, we put a team up on a pedestal and we project what we think that they're going to be. And then when they don't reach the expectations that we set for them, then we tear them down and talk about them being bums and they need to get fired, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing that with this team. I just reasonably feel like it's a fair expectation for this team to go 11-1, 10-2, and go to the college football playoff.
And I don't think you're alone, because I've seen, people that cover BYU, that talk about BYU all the time, that, that actually are traveling with the team. And that's kind of the expectation in, the media circles down there. They think that this thing's set up really well. And again, It can be. It certainly can be. But you start thinking down the road, like, what are the pivotal things? Chemistry. They've got to be able to click. When LJ decided he's coming back, like, to me, that does alleviate some of my concerns about the receiving corps because he is going to be the focus of every single team. Like, defensively, when you're starting to stop BYU from the outset, your number one thing on the board is going to be contain LJ Martin. And so just the fact that he's in the backfield will buy your receivers time. It really will. Because if the first step is, in any kind of quarterback, running back interaction, that's going to freeze people because it's him. Gives those guys a little time to get into their route, to be able to get a little space. But to me, like, when LJ decided he's coming back, that put the stamp to me.
Yep.
Because I felt like this team's going to be really good. But when he said, I'm coming back, it shocked me, first of all, because I thought he was ready. But boom. Like, to me, that I'm not ready to say, that the playoff championship series are bust. But I think this team's capable of doing it. I really, really do.
I think, you talk about last week, we were talking about basketball and having a guy that has the threat of going 5 of 8 from the three-point line increases your spacing.
Yeah, it's just...
Even if he doesn't do that, the threat that he can do that. I mean, same thing with LJ Martin. The threat of him running the ball gives pause to your defense. Like, and they run so much of the... of that option that it's just like, wait a minute, it freezes those linebackers and gives them all kinds of problems.
Yeah, so to me, that was going to be the salve to that offense. Yeah. And if you got a guy that you can move the chains with consistently, I mean, was the player of the year last year offensively, preseason player of the year this year. So to me, that is the biggest thing for BYU on the offensive side. Defensively, like, I can't wait to watch these guys, talking to Evan Johnson, who is not your prototypical BYU secondary person. But
you know what? He kind of is now.
No, he is now.
Yeah, you're right.
But historically,
no. You're right.
I mean, God bless the Mitchell brothers, but I remember those guys holding on for dear life as receivers were just running down the field, and they're literally being drugged. BYU's secondary was not great.
No.
But that has changed. And then you got a guy, good news on the Satawala front, like, that's not going to be a bad injury, and I would pay money to watch that guy play every Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, that guy, you talk about Embiid trying to find a heart, just get him a little bit of Satawala blood, because that dude in every single play is on it. So I think defensively, I think they can wreck people, and offensively, they move the chains and manage possession of the ball, and Bear being in year 2. Last year got hurried a little bit, made some bad decisions. You got to think maturity, more guitar certainly is going to help. Yep. But I like to think that he can take another big step.
So when you're analyzing film of him in the old people's home, is he more of a bar chord guy, or is he? It looks like he's got a little the finger.
He'll pick
picking.
Around a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been impressed. I don't necessarily know the singing is always exactly on tune, but hey, part of it is just like, who's going to tell Bob Dylan?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody says anything to Bob Dylan about
or Neil Young.
Yeah,
try that voice on. I always laugh to think Neil Young walking out on, the Star Show where they're
Star Search
or whatever.
Ed McMahon would boot his butt off so fast
down and just start crooning with that voice. Johnny Cash, another one. I mean, sometimes
even Tom Petty's not that great.
Tom Petty. So just be yourself. Part of it's just letting it go, and then living with the results.
I always tell my kid, like, look, if you act like you're supposed to be there, people will believe you.
That is the one thing I believe. Just act like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. If you don't know, just act like you do.
How much are you still faking life?
Oh,
I'm 56 and I'm still faking the hell out of it.
100%. That's it. Look, if anybody ever wanted me to give a talk to a bunch of seniors at a high school graduation, I would just say, act like you're supposed to be there. See everybody. Good luck. That's all I would say. Just wherever you go, act like you're supposed to be there. Like if you're working fast food, don't act better than everybody else. Just put your head down, act like you're supposed to be there, do the best job you can. If you're in a corporate office, just act like you're supposed to be there. Don't apologize for anything. Just say, all right, I'm here. Let's go do it. And then you figure it out along the way. You just figure it out. But just act like you're supposed to be there.
totally different era NBA security wise, but
Oh, yeah.
in the 90s, I've told the story, but I was sitting on the third row of a playoff game, Jazz playoff game. The game ended. Guys were shaking hands or whatever, and I just thought, I'm going to try this. And I was, in my 20s. So I walked through 3 rows, walk out onto the court. Everybody's, looking at the players. I just walk out, and I get right in the middle of them, and I start walking into the locker room with the players. Like Carl's to my right, John's to my left, and I got as far as the locker room, and that's when it ended.
Did it end abruptly?
It ended abruptly, but it was one of those things where I wonder if you just act like you're part of it.
Yeah.
So that's your trick, Alex.
Thing is, we're going to know really quickly if BYU is a part of it because, Utah, it's kind of a slow burn. Like we've talked about this a lot. I anticipate Utah's going to start the year 6-0. BYU, we're going to find out real quick. Week 2, when they host Arizona. Now, then it lightens up. They'll go to Colorado State, but then they got TCU.
Those are the 2 games, right? Arizona, TCU.
Arizona and TCU, 2 and 3 weeks. Arizona's at home, then they go to Colorado State, have to come back. Look, they'll handle Colorado State, no problem.
It may be funky or something.
Yeah, Jim Moore is a hell of a coach. And when they made that hire, I'm like, ooh, Colorado State may have figured it out. Because Colorado State, and they're a freaking gold mine. They are a sleeping giant. If an AD or somebody else could figure out how to fix that program could be a problem in a hurry. But they just fall all over themselves all the time. They may have gotten it right with Jim Mora as their football coach. So if he can, but BYU's still going to win that game. But you're right. Colorado State's going to muddy it up. I could see that being an ugly game, but BYU will win. But the problem is you go to Fort Collins and you have to fly back, and then you fly back to TCU. It's the travel that concerns me about that TCU game, not necessarily the Colorado State game itself before, but just the fact that you're a little wear and tear on the body is going into a huge game against TCU. Because if you're 3-0 at that point, you're already probably into the mid-teens in the rankings, and everybody's going to be watching that TCU game.
The Arizona game, to me, like that, there's one thing that they just have to figure out a way to slow Fafita. I mean, that's going to be the biggest part of that game. I mean, he's gone into so many places and ruined games because he just gets loose, and they can't let him get loose. I think the good thing about TCU and the time it hits, I mean, they've got a ton of talent. It's going to be hot. Really hot in Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a day game. Is the time already set for that?
I don't think so.
Okay. I know they're tricky about that. But I think the one positive thing there is this quarterback will have a couple of outings on tape, right?
Yeah.
And you can kind of see this is certainly a very, very capable guy throwing for 5,300 yards at Harvard. But to me, if you got them right out of the gate and didn't really know, I think that I think that will help them. But those 2 games, to me, shut down Fafita and then whatever it takes, because I think they get those 2. I think they're looking at undefeated going into Notre Dame as well. Whew. And that would be good for BYU. That'd be good for Notre Dame. That'd be good for game day.
Be good for the Party Hounds.
That'd be good for the Party Hounds, because that's part of the plan.
If you had game day there and you're playing,
I'll get one of those dudes up on the stage and we'll go to work.
There you go. Herb Street seems like he's a guy that could belt out a tune or 2.
I'll pet the dog if I got to. I'll spend time with the dog.
You got to be pretty good at your job and well respected if they let you bring a dog around everywhere. Do
you think he's under the table when they're talking?
Apparently, you see footage of him all the time. He's just right there at his feet, calling games in college and NFL stadiums. He's got the dog right there. Like, what? Where's the dog taking care of the business? Is there some poor intern out there having to take him out and let him do his business and bag it up, toss it out? Like, who wants that job?
He needs to go stroll through the hedges.
Yes.
Fertilize the hedges. Down there where Uga goes.
I guarantee there's some 20-year-old intern out there that's like, I get to work for ESPN. Yeah, what are you doing for ESPN? You're bagging Herb Street's dog's excrement.
Would you judge me if I brought Jude into a show one day and just let Jude corral around?
All right. Okay. Neither, obviously, Hans isn't here. Lloyd's not here. Those 2 begged
to bring a dog?
To do a bring your dog to work day. And I always shut it down. And they were serious, too. They wanted so badly, both of them huge dog guys, they wanted so badly to bring their dogs. And I was like, no, you're not bringing your dogs to work. Come on, this is a professional environment. I have now gotten to a point in my life where I don't really care anymore. So I wouldn't care, but I would be called a massive hypocrite if
Although it is bring your cat to work. It's different.
But yeah, exactly. Like cats are clean.
Cats are clean.
Yeah.
Quiet. He would just lay there and look at us like, where am I? It's always a trick taking him to the vet.
Hans dogs were always pretty, because he always had those French bulldogs that would just lay around and just be lazy. Lloyd had those boxers, and those things, they want to run. So I wouldn't worry about Hans dogs that much, but Lloyd's boxers would be a problem.
Does Lloyd still have dogs?
I don't think so.
He'd trade those in for kids.
Well, yeah, his last one passed, and I think it was pretty hard on the family, so they needed a little bit of time to regroup on that one. But I think he'll eventually get back into it. All right, 11:30, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Good, the bad, the ugly. Coming up next right here on The Zone.
It's time to saddle up and talk about the winners and the losers. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's the good.
.97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard alongside the coach, Tim LaComb. Happy Monday. All right, so the good, the bad, the ugly. Guess what, folks? The countdown is on. You did the math. Allen Iverson did the math.
Right? I actually pulled up a countdown clock.
Oh, really? Until the start of the college football season is how many days?
August 29th is the first game, week 0.
Week 0.
Which I love Don't you love week 0?
Yeah. Pretty soon.
It just means quicker.
Pretty soon week 0 is going to become week 1. I think they're going to move the whole season up a week.
I mean, if it's me, let's go week -2.
I'm with you on that.
Let's just get it here. But the good news is that we are within 32 days, 22 hours, 26 minutes, and 20 seconds of the kickoff of the college football season.
So which means we are now 38 days away from the University of Utah kicking off their game against Arizona. University of Idaho. So, yeah, folks, it's all coming up quick. And then BYU will play Texas Tech on September 5th. And I think Utah State's opening up on September 5th, too. I should know that.
Utah Tech, right?
Is it on the 5th or the 3rd?
5th.
Okay, good. Give me an extra couple days to prepare. So, Utah, September 3rd. That is 38 days away, which means we are 40 days away from Utah State and BYU.
So, that is great news because this is a little bit of the dearth, right? And we're just building and preparing. But I can do 32 with the best of them before we get football. 30 days?
No big deal.
Been locked up for longer than that.
No big deal. Look, I mean, we did the top 60 and 60 for so many years. Until we had to put a bullet in it because the transfer portal just wrecked it. We couldn't do it anymore.
I used to love it, but I can't imagine how hard it would have been.
Yeah, we finished it. We didn't do it last year because we just couldn't do it. It was
like, how do you know?
Yeah, it's impossible. So we did a watch list last year, and then this year we'll do a re-rank at the end of the college football season. But it's just impossible. It really is impossible to try to figure out how we're going to do this thing. So. The amount of storylines for this college football season locally, it's through the roof. I don't think I've ever seen a season quite like this. And whether it's Utah, BYU, Utah State, the incestual nature of the coaches and the shell game that went around after the Kyle Whittingham thing, just insane. And, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. All right, there's your good. Let's. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad and uglies out there. Let's get to it.
Now the bad.
All right, let's start with Eric Bieniemy, Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator, who then floated around the league and then ended up back with Kansas City. His wife was allegedly shot by the couple's son on Sunday night. Mia Bieniemy, hospitalized. She's in stable condition, thank goodness. Confirmed that she did receive serious injuries from multiple gunshot wounds. Elijah Zion Bieniemy, 27 years old, arrested and charged with malicious wounding, use of a firearm in commission of a felony, and discharge of a firearm inside of a dwelling. Andy Reed said, our hearts go out to Eric Bieniemy. Mia is stable, which is a plus. We all love EB, and we hate seeing these things happen. Again, Eric Bieniemy left training camp. No timetable for his return, but it's just one of those things that just breaks your heart. You know, the family dynamics, you don't know the situation. You don't know the mental stability. You don't know any of this stuff. So, you know, you try not to judge or come to any conclusions, but just, you know, thoughts with the family for sure.
I'm just so grateful that she's alive.
Yes.
And that she'll be able to heal. Certainly a lot going on in this world and a lot going on between people's ears that we, you know, you just can't get all the way into. But certainly Bieniemy been at this a long time, and this is certainly not, I'm sure his plans were to be at training camp.
Yeah.
But this is way bigger, and prayers to their family.
So there's your bad. Let's get to the ugly.
And of course, the ugly.
North Carolina football general manager Michael Lombardi, Bill Belichick's right-hand man, has now been placed on administrative leave by the university. When you get placed on administrative leave, that's usually a sign of, that's the government way of saying, we have to get our ducks in a row before we can fire you, but we don't want you around here anymore. That's what that code is. Like, we can't fire you right now. We are going to. We just need to get our paperwork done, all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, because you're getting fired. But we can't actually do that right now, but you're gone. So I don't know what happened there, but when you get tossed to the curb about a month before the season, usually that's and by the way, as you mentioned, less than a month, because they've got that TCU game, and they are that team in Dublin, Ireland that you were talking about.
Yeah, they are, 32.
So 5 weeks from now.
Yes, certainly would maybe lend itself to being an impropriety of some sort.
Well, the school's decision does stem from a human resource complaint filed by a former UNC front office employee. There is a investigation into the matter. Here's the quote from the university. As a standard procedure with personnel matters, leadership, staff, and student athletes are prohibited from addressing the topic further. Yeah. So,
Impropriety.
Not great.
Bob.
Did something, said something, attempted something, and yeah.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno when HR is involved and you're placed on administrative leave. Something I hope I never experience.
I think we can, I think we'll be all right there.
I try to live correctly. I mean, I'll send you disparaging texts from time to time, but I don't think that's an HR violation. No. I'm joking, of course. Never. No. Nothing but positive between you and I.
Yes. By the way, we'll just keep adding on to the bad and ugly.
Yeah, we were looking for good today. That's how bad it is.
I know. There. Yeah. Over the weekend, a bad one for Tony Romo. CBS NFL analyst and former Dallas Cowboy quarterback Tony Romo arrested on suspicion of operating a vehicle while under the influence. And you know what? There are certain cities where you would seemingly figure out, like, look, you know what? There are certain cities like I can see that. In Milwaukee, Romo performed poorly on field sobriety tests after getting stopped while driving south on Interstate 43, was taken into custody, booked, and released. His court appearance is coming up on September 21st. By the way, he went to high school about 35 miles from Milwaukee in Burlington, Wisconsin.
Okay, right here. See, the cop's going to be waiting for me, and I'm going to come around the corner, see, and he's going to make a beeline for me like this, see.
And I'm going to swerve. But I'm going to swerve again, and that's what's really going to make him mad. And then I'm going to try to walk that little white line, and I'm not going to be able to do it. And so they're going to put the cuffs on me, and they're going to haul me away.
And I'm in the back of a police car.
Look at him. Look at it, Jim. Can you believe that? I'm in the back of a police vehicle.
I got to...
Jim.
Tony Romo played in the Utah Open last couple of years.
Yeah.
Down at Riverside. And I would go and just follow guys around and watch them. This dude, he doesn't trust his viewfinder.
Yeah.
Like he may be out 200 yards and he walks that sucker.
Oh, he's
like
that
he's
guy.
one of those guys.
Oh.
So come on, man, get a driver.
So he's a little slower on the golf course.
And probably in the car after a few drinks.
Well, I'd rather you go too slow than too fast if you're under the influence.
Jim, he saw me, Jim.
What do I do, Jim?
Jim, do I pull over, Jim?
Oh, man. No, Tony, no.
Here's actually a good. I'm going to add a good.
Oh, okay, good. We need something good.
So they had the 3M Open this weekend.
All right. Yeah.
Dude, 21-year-old phenom. I mean, we're around a 20-year-old phenom every day through the glass over here in Alex. So we know what that's like. But this dude, Jackson Coyven, basically said, I'm done being an amateur, and I'm going to play for keeps. And in his first PGA Tour event, he held off world number one Scotty Scheffler to shoot 25 under par, a new tournament record, and win in his very first tournament at 21 years old.
He beat Scotty Scheffler. Disney's going to make a movie out of this.
That's good.
That's awesome.
So keep an eye out for this kid. Watched some highlights, watched some of the actual live stuff. He's got a little swag.
Is there any trading card market for golfers?
There are trading cards. I do have some Tigers. I have some Tiger rookies that I hold.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a thing. But get this, his first job. Okay, you remember what you got paid.
Oh, yeah.
Your passion project is sports.
My first radio job, I got paid $4.15 an hour. That was minimum wage at the time.
And people are like, oh, man, I'd just love to be that guy. Well, would you love to be him then?
Yeah.
My first paid coaching gig, I got a $1,200 stipend
Lone
for an
Peak?
entire year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this dude, in his very first tournament, went ahead and they stroked him a check for $1.5 million in tournament one. So he picked a very good one to come out. It wasn't like the Shiloh Inn Invitational.
What what's interesting? The Shiloh Inn.
I mean, I don't know if there is such a thing. Nothing against you, Shiloh.
The Motel 6.
The Bodette Classic.
The Bodette Classic. Hey, we'll leave the light on for you in the clubhouse. That's so I remember, and this is, obviously before, I hate saying this because kids roll their eyes. This is before the internet, certainly before Twitter, social media. I remember that infamous Tiger Woods cover when he won the amateur for like the second consecutive year. And yeah, exactly. You know it. And that's when everybody's like, oh, who's this Tiger Woods guy? Like we knew if you were anywhere remotely interested in sports, you knew Tiger Woods before Tiger became really Tiger. Like you had heard the rumblings. I can't say I've heard the rumblings on this guy.
I haven't either. He is played at Auburn University, and as a freshman, he had one of the best seasons in college golf history. He's from San Jose, California, moved to Chapel Hill, North Carolina high school. But, keep your eye on this dude because, you can luck into winning something, but that's a really big event late in the year. And to hold off world number one, that's pretty awesome.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up next, coming up at 12:05. We were going to say goodbye to Kurt Helin for the season, but then LeBron James signed. So Kurt's going to come back and hang out with us. Coming up to kick off the 12 o'clock hour right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Best thing that's ever happened to you financially. Go.
Easy. Sold my car on Carvana. Amazing offer.
Really? I hit 200 on the scratcher.
Did the scratcher come to your house and hand you a check?
No.
How many scratchers did you hit to get that? I hit a button on Carvana.com once.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the lottery, except you always win.
Not like the lottery at all, actually.
Exactly. Inexplicably good. Offers worth bragging about. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
The best sports radio in Utah is right here, right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard, Tim LaComb. On a Monday, Kurt Helin's going to join us coming up here in just a moment, about 15 minutes from right now. Hey, it's your chance this week. Now, look, it's Monday. It's not Wednesday, so don't call in. Alex will yell at you. Alex, one of the nicest people on the planet, but don't get him sideways because he'll come after you. So don't call right now. I'm just previewing coming up on Wednesday. It's your chance to win. Boy, we've had a couple big concerts. Last week was Posty and Jelly Roll. How about this one? The Black Crows with special guest Whiskey Myers at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on August 13th. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Get those tickets. And if you want to roll the dice, be listening all day Wednesday for your chance to win. Black Crows, man.
No, I got to go to that one. I bought my tickets to Dirty Heads and 311. That's on your anniversary.
Yeah.
But 5 days later, I need to go to the Black Crows. So I will be doing that.
Hey, little thing.
They just have a good swag to them.
Yeah.
Don't they?
I absolutely.
All right. In the break, I'm going to go ahead and tell the story.
You going to tell the story?
Yeah.
All right. If you're on the video stream, remember, you can watch the show live at KSLSports.com. You can also go to our YouTube page and just search KSL Sports. You can see us up close and in person. Every day, you can, look, you want to see whatever quarter zip I'm wearing, that's fine. But Coach usually brings the swag every day. And today is one of your all-time bests.
So I'm wearing a shirt that, here's the story. So I know a couple people in the music world, not European, however.
Yeah, no.
Not European. And one of them knew a buddy that had a buddy that was on the crew for Van Halen back in the day on a tour. It was the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge tour. Do the math.
Yeah.
And so they apparently wore these shirts, and after the concert run was over, he was walking past the locker room. Apparently, this was hanging in Sammy's locker. And that's the story I was told. Okay, so I haven't really thought much about it, and this has actually just been hanging on my wall in my guitar room because I have a cool collection of stuff.
Yeah.
So today I thought I'm going to wear it, just for the heck of it. And so while we're sitting here, I'm looking at things, and I just found a shirt very similar, same color, everything, had Eddie on it, and it was auctioned like at Sotheby's. So apparently this may be real. I just found that out. I thought it was just like a prop. I'd heard the story. I didn't necessarily buy it, but I think I might be wearing. Like,
You might be wearing.
It has the dry cleaning tags in the back, and that's what it looked identical to the one that was auctioned.
You might be wearing a shirt worn by Sammy Hagar at a Van Halen concert.
Yeah, maybe.
That is bad A, man.
I mean, it's a maybe, but I would say I'm leaning more toward yes.
If that's a replica, that's a hell of a replica.
I'm gonna wear I'll wear another cool thing I got this week.
I just don't want you to I'm glad that it's 62 degrees here in the studio because I don't want any sweat stains. on that
I don't
thing.
care about any of that. I'll give this to somebody when it's all said and done.
That is you to a T, man.
It is.
It's yeah.
I'm not about. I like to make people smile.
I like to make people smile. I also like to make my bank account smile
I know,
too, though.
but hey,
But you're that's why you're a special human being.
that's false. Far from special. I'm sitting next to special. I just that's one of the great things of hanging around special every day. It rubs off on you, maybe.
Well, that's Alex. Now Lloyd, that's a lot of anger off of him.
I would define him as a curmudgeon.
For a guy who looks as young as he is, he does have that 65-year-old get off my lawn persona.
And he messed with me. He's hazed me again on the day of the parade. Because he's saying, I'll let you know if I'm going tomorrow. He kept dragging it out, So I called him at 7:40 on my way downtown to say, hey, where are you going to be?
Where am I at?
Are you going to go or not? And he's like, hello. And I'm like, Lloyd. He's like, yeah. What time is it? He's giving me that business. All the while he's standing down there, So I get down there and he just has to be a curmudgeon. He has to be a foil.
Yeah. He fits that role pretty well. And you know what? As long as I've known Lloyd, he's been that guy. Jake Scott makes fun of Lloyd for being that, as long as I've known him, because it's true. Jake's not exaggerating.
I thought Jake was, because I only knew Lloyd from school, and I'm telling you, hey, how can I help? What can I do in the project? He was that guy.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't like trying to.
He wasn't that guy in the project who was like showing up and like, hey, so we got a presentation. What am I talking about?
Did you ever have friends like you're walking down the hall in school and they come up and, kick your feet and that's Lloyd. He's a foot kicker.
Yeah, yep. That's about right.
He's a tripper.
All right, coming up next, we're going to have a chance to chat with Kurt Heelan, fired up about that, fired up about his thoughts on the Philadelphia 76ers. Is this a team that we need to legitimately look at as an NBA contender? Certainly a contender in the East now, but an NBA title contender? Can they go toe-to-toe with the Spurs? Can they go toe-to-toe with the Knicks? We'll find out coming up just a couple months because, hey, NBA season will be here before you know it.
And I'm excited to get Kurt's thoughts. Like, is he buying? Is he buying in on them? Can they make the finals from the East? We'll see where he puts them.
Yeah, we'll do that coming up next. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.